Hey there, folks. The weekend has begun. Almost. Just about. More or less. Let's go to CSSBattle.dev and do the daily target. Ho ho ho! Is that a watch face? That's a watch face. That's really cool. Can't remember one just quite like this. I sure hope those are three things that are very similar. All right, so what do we got here? My brain wants to do box shadows, but of course you can't, to my knowledge, put a box shadow at an angle. So we can't really do that. So I think that means we've got three elements here. All right. And so hopefully that's a plain circle in the middle. And we've got, so we need a height and width. Let's give it a width of 40. And let's display flex. And let's gap of some amount, 40 pixels, let's say. And then these colors are terrible. Let's put the real colors on. And let's start with just the colors. And we're going to guess. We might be wrong. 58, 57, 56, 57, 58, 59. Okay, let's change the width on these guys. Width of, so the first thing we want to do, actually, wrong. We want to make sure these margins are right. 2, 3, 4, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. The width is wrong. How about 45? How about 50? The height is wrong. How about 130, 40, 50? The gap between them looks wrong. 6, 7, 8. 75 maybe. All right, so here's where we set ourselves up. Okay, so this is not efficient, but I don't care. That's okay. Let's set an angle in here. We'll set a dash A of 20 degrees. And then in this one, we'll do the same thing. Dash A is, what? Maybe it's 40 degrees. And then we put a var. Oh, and I've already kind of made a mistake. No, actually, I don't think I have. Okay, so var. So we do a rotate of a var dash A, and there you can see the rotation already. And we don't need to set a 0 because rotate, we just don't need it. So let's say, what's it, 21 degrees, 19 degrees, 18 degrees. That is close. How about 17? How about 16? Let's increase the gap. 6, 7, 8, 9, 80. Okay, how about 15 degrees? 15. And then this one maybe is 30. There it is. Gorgeous. That's how we get those guys. And of course, this is not very efficient. What we want to do is use an attribute. So we do dash A, or even of 50 degrees or 30 degrees. So let's do a calc. Why not? I love a calc. It's a good excuse to, because 15 and 30 have a common thing. So we'll do var dash A. And we'll rename it just to be clear. F times 15 degrees. And that means F on the first one, which we're going to call, we'll put an attribute B on. We'll say that's 1. And then for attribute C, we'll say dash F is 2. use our algebra. So we replace that big mess with a B, and there's we have it. And we replace this big mess with C, and we got it. Now we've got circles to create, don't we? Yes, we do. When you pivot things around their center, you don't necessarily move their. So the reason this is working. So transform origin is actually 50%, 50%. It's right in the center. You've got control over that. You could set that at different values and get different effects. Isn't that crazy? That's great, right? But the center, it moves things around the center. The point of me saying that is that we can do the radial gradient to create these three circles, I think. And I think it's going to match very nicely. So we'll put it at 50% and then 33% and see how far we get. 1Q, and then the inner color is this, and it's probably 30 pixels or something. And then blue, 0. And there, oh, you see the little nub of the circle. Let's make it bigger. 4, 5. Is that it? Close. How about 120 pixels, or 110, or 100? No, what's the number? It's 2, 3, yeah, 130 pixels. Great. That's it. So we have this, this very nice. It's nice. I like that. Are there things we can do different? If I change that gap, everything kind of collapses, and that's no good. We're doing it the flex way, and the flex way is fine. Could also not use flex. Could use grid and some template columns. That would work fine as well. We could create each of these elements to be wider. We could make them 100 pixels wide and then do the same thing, and I think there would be no problem with that. That's another way to go. Let's, we haven't even submitted. I don't even know if I'm 100%. I think I'm 100%. That's just me guessing, but I'm sort of counting chickens before they hatch. No, that's good. All right, we don't need transform origin. That's implied. I can get rid of that. Can I? Yes, in this case, because I've got a var, I can create and the spaces in a calc. Typically, if you have two numerical values, you do need the space on the operator, in this case a times sign, but that's subject to a little hackery. But if you run into trouble with calc, don't forget those spaces. That's a tip, one of several tips here today. Minify, unit replace, submit for a final answer, and there are more optimizations to be made, of course, there always are. That's fine. That's not my emphasis. Feel free not to share those in the comments. You can if you want, if you insist, but that's not why we do this. Go make a web page, and hey, go do the CSS battles. Do some of the old ones, do the battles themselves, which I do not record because those are competitive. These are non-competitive, purely exhibitional, and a lot of fun. It's rough out there. Oh, another rough day for a lot of people. Be good to yourself, be good to others. And yeah, that's it. Bye-bye.